Nancy Mace. So, Congressman, that is the first question this morning. Does Kevin McCarthy have the votes? Does he have your vote?
Well, that remains to be seen later this week. But I have to tell you, real Americans don't get to operate at a deficit, and Congress needs to come back to the real world. If you look at over the last 6 years alone, under President Trump and President Biden, $13 trillion was added to the debt. Both sides are at fault here, and I just don't understand why we can't have a conversation about how we're going to cut spending, like really cut spending, or balance the budget over the next decade or so and show the American people we're going to be responsible with their tax dollars. And that's the kind of thing that I want to see us push for more aggressively.
So you haven't decided yet whether or not you're going to support this?
Right. I'm leaning against voting for it at this time because I just don't understand why we can't have a conversation about balancing the budget, cutting spending, and doing so over the next 10 years because inflation is still on the rise. We need to grow the economy. You've got to cut spending and cut taxes and rein some of that in order to grow the economy at a rate that can overtake the debt that we've taken on in this country.
It's Monday. This vote could happen as soon as Wednesday or Thursday. I don't have to tell you that. What does Kevin McCarthy need to do to change your mind about voting yes? Or are you pretty firmly leaning no, you say?
We're still going through the plan. I have other concerns, especially on green energy. A state like South Carolina, we have a lot of solar farms and solar energy, both residential and commercial. I want to find out and figure out what kind of adverse impact it might have on the state of South Carolina before we finally make that decision. And there are other concerns, and we're just still wading through it. And the devil's always in the details.
Okay, so you want changes, it sounds like, before you would vote yes.
Correct. But we'll see if they'll do that. But the things that I'm talking about, balancing the budget in 10 years is not going to be easy. I blame both sides for the situation that we're in today, and both sides need to come to the table and figure this thing out. I don't think we're going to default. That's a fear tactic by the left. We have plenty of tax revenue to pay the interest on the debt, about 11 times that tax revenue. But we need to get serious about spending in this country, and neither side is willing to have that conversation, and that's what's disappointing with all of this at this juncture now. $31 trillion in debt.